Flat. Today I learn English. American Textbook Rain. Social Studies Grade 4. Lesson 12. Let's go. Hello everybody and welcome to lessons today. I'm Ryan Start. Well, we're looking at Social Studies Book 4. Lesson 11. And the banks. Now I know you're probably too young to worry about the banks or money, but it's really never too early to think about saving your monies. So in this lesson, we will discover how people save and spend monies, and also why people save money. So let's begin. We have many words in the vocabulary sections about saving money. The first one is deposit. Deposit can be a verb and it can also be a noun. In this case, it's a verb because we see to put in, and we know that it's a verb. So to put it in the bank. So do you have any money? If your parents give you some allowance, maybe every week, maybe you could ask your mom or your dad to help you make a bank account, and you can deposit it. When you put your money in your bank deposit, the money could also make a deposit. In that case, is a noun to make a deposit. A deposit is the act of putting money in a bank. That's a noun, so it can be a verb or it can be a noun to deposit money in a bank or to make a deposit. Okay, our next word we will have is in return. If I give you something, will you give me something in return? In return is as a way of paying somebody or something. When you go to a store, right, and you want to buy a key, this just items, right? Or buying a candy or a toy, right? You give the store owner or the person who works at the store. You give them money as a thing in returns, and they give you the objects that you want to buy. This picture is showing kind of like somebody's buying a car or maybe they're buying a house, right? And in return, we will give them that's a lot of money. So I don't know what currency is that. It was Korean's money. I don't know what currency. So I'm not sure. But maybe they make many placements. But anyway, give me some money in returns. So if you give someone a thing, they will give you something in returns, right? The next word here we have is interest. This is a different means. Interest is another different things. Interest is the extra money that you receive from having money in the bank. This is a little complicated, a little difficult, but let me make it easy. Let's say you have $10, right? You have $10 or maybe $1 and put it in a bank. Usually the bank will give you 2% interest. This means after 1 year they will give you 2% of the money you have in the bank. They just give it to you just for having your money in the bank. What is 2% of 10? Well, that is their 20 cents, right? That's 20 cents. It's not a lot of money, but it is some money, right? And it's free. Well, it's free. You can put it in the bank. You don't use it. And the banks give you the monies. Why does the bank do that? Because if another person borrows 10 or $10, if they borrows 10, then the banks will charge them interest. That's a different type of interest. At interest, they might charge that person 5% interest. So basically, at the end of the year, that person has to pay back $10 plus 50 cents because 5% of $10 is 50 cents. So if you borrow that money, you have to pay back the interest, right? The bank, of course, what's the difference between 50 cents and 20 cents? Of course, 50 cents is bigger, right? So the banks makes money by doing that. Anyways, That's interest. The main idea is that you put money in the bank will give you interest. Small percentage of that back every year, and every half year it depends on what the bank policy is. Our next word here I have is bill. Bill is a piece of paper that is listing that costs that you should pay for using goods or services. Well, bill is a piece of paper that has been listed that lists the cost that you should pay for using goods or services let's say you go to the grocery store and you buy things, right? They will show you what that you bought and how much is that. How much does it cost you? Well, it will show you the total amount, and your job is to pay it, right? So the bill is everything that you've bought. If you go to a restaurant again, they would use the bills to show what did you orders, right? Maybe you order a salad and all those drinks, they will put them in the bills. So at the end, they will give you the total amount so that you wouldn't have to subtract and add and multiply or anything else, right? You would just have to pay. Well, bills are just statements saying how much you owe a person or a company because you use their goods or services. So that's a bill. Our next word here I have is credit card. Credit card is a plastic card that you can use instead of cash. Well, if we use this card to pay, then we'll need to have a checker, right? I don't know what that is, but you would wipe the cards out so that it will pay you money. And in different credit cards, it will have different numbers, right? This is just an example. We wouldn't have a one that say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 0, and 0, and 0. No. And there's also the name of that owner and our cards here. Well, that's our credit cards. Our debit card? Maybe. Okay, well, let's look at our chart. Saving and spending money. How can we save money? You can open a saving account at the bank, right? There will be different bank accounts, such as Become Bank or our bank or many others. My mother has 2 banking accounts, right? But she will use our bank. She also has Become Bank. What about your mother or your father, right? People deposit money in their saving accounts. They would save their money in their accounts, and the banks add interest to that accounts and recharge, right? They will add the interest each time you give a big money. Well, maybe if you have saved the money in the first time, you put in $10, then you would receive 20 cents as interest. And the next time you go and you add in $20, and you would receive 40 cents as interest, right? I don't know, is that true? But yes, that's right. Maybe the next time you paid for even $100, that's too much money, just think like that. And you can receive even $10. Is that right? Yeah, or maybe $2? Yes, no, 20 to $10 to $20. I don't know what, but those are really important, right? When you're adding money inside, right? It doesn't matter if adding $1 or maybe $2. It doesn't matter. It just matters if you put the money inside. If you save your money, that's just showing that you believe that bank. Okay, and how can you spend money? A customer can pay with a check at a restaurant. The restaurant sends the checks to customer banks, and the banks take the monies from the customer checking account. Well, now maybe you go. But this just happened in England and some countries like America. It doesn't happen in all places. Well, if you forgot to bring the money or the credit card, you can't know which way to pay. would tell the waiter or the waitress to give you a check. You would fill in maybe the number, the amount of monies, right? Your name, your location, what money did you spend for, where did you spend for, right? And then after that, those restaurants, right? They would send this to the banks, right? If you're running it for maybe some different banks, right? Then you need to send to the right banks, right? And the banks would tax the money from you. They would take away the monies from you, right? So now you don't have money anymore. No, you will have money. Well, if your meal is $20 and you have $18, and they will subtract out and you have just $60, right? Well, that's the thing that happens when we pay with checks. Okay? Next, why people save money? To buy a new bicycle. Do you love to ride bicycles? If you do, you should save your money to buy a new bicycle. To go to college. Many people, if they want to go to college, they'll need to spend a very big amount of money. Or if they don't spend those money, they need to learn really good so that they can have different things that can help them to study abroad or something like that. That will help those money to be lower, but they also need to pay. Well, to go to college is pretty hard, challenging, and to travel abroad. Maybe you want to have fun, or maybe you travel abroad so that you can find more jobs here, or maybe you can learn more about that countries, right? Or being more famous. I don't know. Well, people save money to buy goods and services in the future, or maybe just spend with their times, right? Why do people save money? Those are very common answers. But there are also many other reasons why do people save money. I save money, maybe I save all my needs and wants, or maybe I will save all my new custom for Ted. I don't know. Well, those are different reasons why people save money. Okay, well, today we've learned about how to save and spend money and why do people save their money. Okay, well, I want you to remember that. Be careful about money. Now, if you're just 8 years old or 9 years old, your mother's give you maybe 10 Vietnamese dong, you still need to think, what can you spend with that? Maybe you save in your piggy bank. Maybe not. Maybe you spend 5 Vietnamese dong and 5 Vietnamese dong and different reasons, right? You spend 5,000 Vietnamese dong and you stay 5,000 Vietnamese dong. I don't know, that's your choice. But just remember, think carefully because there's thousands of ways to save and spend them. Remember to be careful about monies.